The sun is shining bright like a colorful aurora. It paints the world in hues of orange and white and more. I'm gonna start packing my bag. I'm leaving all worries behind. Let's go, I need to get my own summer style back. The breeze is playing soft.
Morning, it's 7 o'clock, Sunday morning, day 10 of my journey on the CDT. Now, unfortunately, the breakfast plan didn't quite work out. My plan was originally to get 2 burritos to walk out of town, but the Mexican place where I wanted to get it was unfortunately closed, contrary to online information. So now I went to a gas station, and the only thing I could get was a banana muffin, an apple Danish, and a cheese and meat stick. Came into town on Friday afternoon, got a hotel, and then spent Saturday in town as well, enjoying the Trail Days festivities. And it's a really nice festival. It's organized by the CDTC, the organization maintaining and developing the trail. And it's got lots of different components. There's book talks, discussions, there's a taco fest, concerts, like a little exhibition of different vendors and gear stores that repair and sell gear, so if you need to fix something up. And it's a particularly nice festivity because it really shows you that the trail is much more than just the people hiking it. It's also connecting the communities around the trail, you know, businesses that are involved with the trail, volunteers. And it is a huge project after all. It's 5,000 kilometers across the entire US. And just last year, for example, they logged a total of 22,000 volunteering hours just to do basic trail maintenance. And it's also a very nice chance to connect with fellow hikers, because this certainly has been the biggest gathering of hikers on the CDT that I've seen so far, because there were shuttles going on in both directions, so they were collecting people even as they were further down or further up on the trail, just bringing them to town so they could enjoy the festival as well. It was fun to meet up with everybody, see how everybody was doing, rest and restore feed, arrange some things in the pack, and now I'm ready to roll again. Now, unfortunately, the wildfire going on up here hasn't been contained. On the contrary, it has grown by a factor of 10. By yesterday, it was burning at about 220 acres. And there has been a message by the CDTC that part of the trail will be rerouted as the wind is blowing from the west. And the wildfire currently is west of the trail. The fire currently is being driven towards the trail. So as a precaution, they sealed off a part of that area and rerouted the trail. So we really have to see how that develops over the next couple of days, because from here until where that section is currently sealed off is about 4 days of hiking, and a lot of things can happen in 4 days, especially as the weather forecast continues to be both dry and windy. Now in this area, the CDT has one of its many alternates, which I think shouldn't even be called an alternate because the vast amount of people take it. It's a little detour through what is called the Gila Wilderness, which is I think one of the first wilderness areas that was established in the United States. And the trail kind of follows the riverbed of the Gila River all the way up to Snow Lake, and then continues onwards towards Pytown. The official red line, so the quote-unquote official CDT, actually does an eastern loop along a ridge line. Yeah. Now I will be doing this alternate. I will also take the Gila alternate. There's a lot of good reasons for that. And to get there, there's also 2 routes out of town, a brown and a purple one, I think. And the brown one is just 2 miles shorter, so I opted for that one, just to get out into the forest and into the trails again. because it does take a while to get out of town. I also have a big announcement to make. Trail Days was also the event where I finally got a trail name, which was proposed to me by my fellow thru hikers, and it is Shoehorn. And why is it Shoehorn? Because apparently a lot of people don't know that you can use your trowel to get your shoes on. So that's what I do in the morning, and cracked a couple of other hikers up to use this trowel as a multi-purpose tool. And so now I go by Shoehorn. It was also desperately necessary because it is quite amusing. I mean, just everybody is really only exclusively using their trail name, to the extent that they wouldn't even tell you their real name. I mean, maybe if you ask, but and if you're the only or one of the only persons who doesn't have a trail name, that's just really odd. So now that's what I go by. Silver City was also kind of the last stop of civilization for a while. This is where kindergarten stops, I guess. The trail does become a little more serious now. So like I said, it's about 55 miles to Doc Campbell's, which is the initiation of this stage. And there's a little RV park there, a little shop where you can resupply, and some hot springs as well. And that is both literally and figuratively where the road ends. So that's really
this is the kind
last
of hiking that I came here to
glimpse
do.
of civilization in the wilderness.
Paved road.
And from there on, it's a about 130 kilometer stretch to Pie Town. So that's about 200 kilometers roughly. A long stretch, a long food carry. Luckily there's enough water on that stretch. And then if you actually hit Pie Town, which we of course plan to do, that's already the halfway point of the state. So I think it's probably going to take us about a week from Doc Campbell's to get there. And we can look on having done half of New Mexico. But before we can celebrate that with a big fat pie, first have to do it. And that's going to be hard. One of the reasons why it's convenient to have other people out here is you can find stuff. So I just found this tiny Leatherman multi-tool, and I'm gonna go on the treasure hunt now and see who it belongs to. Now when you're walking through here, you do wonder why are there roads back here, and I guess people have tried to do all kinds of stuff back here, from cattle to, not sure what this exactly is, but it kind of looks like a mining thing of some sort. So the first natural flowing water sources that we're seeing after 10 days down here in New Mexico. Well, someone's out here is doing chainsaw art, building some rest spots for weary travelers. So far, the first of our alternates has been an absolute success. You're walking down through this canyon down here with the creek running beside you in the forest, smell of pines. It's wonderful. It's truly absolutely gorgeous out here. And now there is some big climb coming up to a little saddle. I think that's what we're gonna do today. Try to get over that. Ideally not camp on top, because that's gonna be crispy night otherwise. And then get as close to the Gila River as possible. Because from the Gila River it's only about 21 miles to the Campbell's. So depending on how I feel tomorrow, we might even get there a day early. Who knows? So we just turned from the forest road that was leading through the canyon up onto the trail.
Trees loft, seen it whisper secrets of each land. The sound of the waves lapping on the beach is like like a pleasant melody, soothe my heart's troubles. Windows down with the wind in my hair, I feel so free. Oh, it's the smell of summer. My summer trip, take me away, all worries, to a place where my heart can play, under the stars by the ocean shore.
Well, I just had the most wonderful chance encounter. I was sitting down for lunch and this older gentleman walks up to me and introduces himself. And it turns out he's been living up here in these hills in a tiny little cottage for 27 years as a hermit. And he came here to study a poem and has stayed ever since. So he invited me in and we had a wonderful conversation about his life out here, the trail, about beekeeping, and all of these things. Has somewhat turned my plans for the day on their head. I guess if you leave out encounters like that because you're following some plan in your head, that's not my way of hiking.
By the vast grasslands, oh, it's the smell of summer. I find a hidden cove where the dolphins rove. I watch them dance in the ocean's cove. I build a sandcastle high, I touch the summer sky. I sit around a fire, share stories that will never tire. I found the feeling of summer. I fell in love with the feeling of summer.
Up to the ridge in the afternoon. It's about 4:15 now, and it is a spicy climb, is what it is. Now, what I also found out when talking to the hermit was what this tree is. A tree with this somewhat strange bark. They're all around here, and apparently they're juniper trees. So this whole mountain could be converted into gin. So we've just about made it to the heights of the saddle. It's right there. So the trail is gonna go this way. Today will be a long day. I'm at 22 miles now. Probably be around 25 miles when I get to camp. And in case this hasn't become obvious, I'm enjoying this a lot. I mean, the environment up here, weather is also fantastic. It's not too hot. There's a breeze going on, and the best part is my entire left and right foot are completely taped off, so I'm not having any blisters. I'm not fighting pain all day. It's just exhaustion, and who cares about exhaustion, right? And the other thing, the situation with my love handles, with those two sore spots from those straps, I also taped those off, so they're also not hurting, which is why this is such a relief. I'm glad I brought a whole roll of Leukotape to get me all the way to Pie Town. Right. 2 miles before the day is done, and we start the 110 meter hurdles. Shit, I think that's really high. So why am I pushing it so hard today? It's strictly speaking not necessary, because the section to Doc Campbell's is about 51 to 53 miles, depending on how you calculate. So it's an easy split into 3 days. But the problem is that I only have about a liter of water left, and to camp with only a liter of water is very uncomfortable. as if you need to cook, you need water for that, you need water to drink, because generally you're quite dehydrated when you roll into camp. You need to eventually go to the bathroom and power wash your butt. You need water for that. So yeah, a liter is just not enough. And once I'm out of this forest here, there should be a water tank there. So that's where I'll plan to camp tonight. So there's water available. And that's why I'm pushing it so hard today. Tonight's dinner, fettuccine and parmesan with veggies.